The birth of the name Turk, the Göktürks, the Göktürks. The steppe was blowing once again with the unending voice of the Turks. Between earth and sky, the voice of the Turks was heard once more. It was the voice of a nation, a people whose echo would resonate throughout history. The voice of the Turks. When iron met the hammer and the Göktürks were born in the 6th century, north of the Altai Mountains in Central Asia, there lived a small but powerful union. They were called the Ashina clan. For years, this union had been forging iron, and they were known as the blacksmith tribe. But the true legacy they would leave behind was not iron, but destiny. At the time when the Göktürk state was about to be founded, the Avar Khaganate ruled the region. The Ashina clan was under the authority of the Avar Khaganate. But inside Bumin Khagan, the hammer of rebellion never stopped striking the iron. When Bumin Khagan went to the Avar Khagan to ask for a bride on behalf of his people, he was mocked. "You are my servant, working under me," they said. Bumin could not bear the insult and replied, "I am neither your servant nor your apprentice." That voice echoed across all of Central Asia. Bumin Khagan gathered his people and in 552 overthrew the Avar Khaganate, founding the Göktürk state. This was the first state in history established with the name Turk. It was the rebirth of a nation, and its center was Utuken. Because the land between earth and sky was believed to be closest to the gods, the state was written as Göktürk, meaning Sky Turk. The power that came from the heavens would now be used with justice by the children of the earth. Time passed, and İstemi Khagan headed toward the beginning of the road to the conquest of the West. After Bumin Khagan died shortly after founding the state, his brother İstemi Khagan became ruler of the western lands. He was as skilled in diplomacy as he was in war. One side bordered China, the other Byzantium. The Silk Road was the most vital trade route in the world. İstemi Khagan wanted to control it. When pressured by China, he formed an alliance with the Byzantine Empire in the west. Envoys were sent to Constantinople. The Byzantines, swimming in gold, admired these disciplined people. The Göktürks were now on the path not only to being warriors, but kings of trade. But after these developments, the state was divided into east and west. That division became the first sign of disaster. Era of collapse. With China, when the Göktürks were divided, China sought dominance in the east. The Göktürks were lured into luxury and decadence, and soon the voice of the steppe was nearly silenced. Everyone was turned against one another, and in 630, the Göktürk Khaganate collapsed. China enslaved all blacksmiths and those of the Ashina lineage, but in doing so, it was creating a silent storm. The second Göktürk state, a nation reborn from ashes, they remained under Chinese captivity for nearly 50 years. Their traditions and even their names were lost. But beyond the Altai Mountains, a Khagan lay in hiding, keeping his anger alive. Kutluk Khagan. The title Ilterish was given to Kutluk Khagan. It meant the one who gathers the nation again. His uprisings against China spread across the entire steppe in an instant. With the wise Bilge Tonyukuk and his brother, the swordmaster Kapan Khagan, the foundations of the second Göktürk state were laid. The duo of Bilge Khagan and Kultigin was crucial to the state. After Kutluk Khagan, Bilge Khagan, one of the wisest rulers in Turkish history, took the throne. Beside him at all times was his brother Kultigin. Together they brought peace, ending both the western tribal unrest and Chinese invasions. As his title Bilge wise implied, Bilge Khagan knew the state could be ruled not only by the sword, but also by the mind. Tonyukuk was at his side in every decision and every battle. His words from that era are still the essence of Turkish tradition. If the Turkish nation forgets its own customs, it will also forget its independence. The Orkan inscriptions, the spirit carved into stone. After Kultigin's death, Bilge Khagan had a great stone monument erected for him. It was a vow stone, from the birth of a people to its continuation. Not merely a tomb, but a document. The inscriptions read, "When the blue sky above and the dark earth below were created, humankind was created between them. For the Turkish nation, I did not sleep at night, I did not sit during the day, I worked to keep my nation alive." These words form and summarize the essence of the Turks. They were written so a nation would always remember itself. The Orkan inscriptions are considered the earliest national consciousness monuments in human history. Even today, they can still be read in Göktürk script. The inevitable end and the beginning of an unbroken legacy. In the early 8th century, throne conflicts and Chinese attacks weakened the Göktürk state again. It was replaced by the Uyghur Khaganate, but the legacy left behind by the Göktürks never disappeared. The legacy they left was not just stone, it was a spirit. That spirit inspired every Turkish state that came after. Every new Turkish state was founded carrying that name and that spirit. And of course, the final words, the destiny of the Turks written between earth and sky. The Göktürks were not just an empire. They were the ones who truly announced the name Turk to other nations. A nation was born in these lands, and it it would remain forever at the side of time. Whenever the wind blows, a whisper comes from the stones of the inscriptions. O Turkish nation, return to yourself, hold fast to your traditions. In our next video, we will continue with the story of the Turks encountering Islam and the rise of a great faith. Don't forget to subscribe and follow the channel.